Hey, what's going on, guys? Alright, so for those who were here last, I guess, episode, thanks for coming back. And for those newly joined, welcome. And we are starting here on Coruscant, where we left off, I guess last playthrough. So what I'm going to be doing this playthrough, guys, is a bit more of the same. I'm going to be leveling through, let you guys kind of see my leveling process and get some intuition on how I do things. And I'll be giving tips and tricks and all that stuff along the way, specific to a combat spec sentinel. So one of the things I want to do before we get started here on Coruscant is I want to revisit the fleet to go ahead and take care of some gearing stuff. One of the things that I've gotten a lot is how to gear as you level. There are a couple of ways to do that, and I went over those last time we streamed. So I'm going to basically do the second of the two that I went over, which is going and getting modifications and putting that stuff into your gear. So let's go ahead and go do that. Alright, so as you come to fleet, depending on whether you're on the Republic side or the Imperial side, doesn't matter. What you're going to be looking for is the supplies area. So for Republic fleet, it's right here.
May the Force be with you.
And so we're going to head down that way. And we should have some vendors there. Hopefully I'm right. It'd be very embarrassing if I was wrong. But ultimately what we're looking for is there's some vendors that have different levels attached to them, and they'll have level appropriate gear, specifically armorings, mods, enhancements, that you can slot into your active gear as long as you have gear that's moddable. So we are level 18, so I'm probably going to be in this first hub here. So what I'm going to do is I'm looking for a vendor that is close to that level. So if you look down at the bottom right on my screen, you see it says level 18 modification vendor. So that's what I want. Now if you look at this gear on the right side, you see a cost and you see an icon. That's basically what monetary value you have to fork over to get those items. So if you go into your inventory and you go to mission items, or sorry, currency, you'll see that here, common data crystals, which is what I need to buy those, and you can see what I have of them and what the max you can have of them. So I have 47 right now out of 1,000. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and before I buy this stuff, I'm going to get me some moddable gear. So if you look at my gear here, the only thing I have moddable is probably this lightsaber. And you can see when I hovered over that it comes up and you can see it says mod, enhancement, etc. If I hover over something like this, you see I can put a color crystal in it. It says item modifications. Those are what's available, but it doesn't say hilt. It doesn't say enhancement, things like that. So we can't put that in there. So what I want to do is I want to pick up gear that I can mod, and the easiest way to do that, if you're somewhat of a veteran at the game, is you can go into your collections and you can get stuff that way. If you're not a veteran of the game, you can go to the GTN. Let me open the map real quick. You can go up to here, the Galactic Trade Market, and all along this inner wall here, there will be kiosks that you can access, and you can basically buy stuff that other players put up. So what we're going to do... Okay. So I grabbed up some gear out of that, and to complete my thought, you can go to the GTN, like I was explaining earlier, and you can buy some of that gear off. It's really cheap. If you're using the character editor thing here, outfit, sorry. If you're using the outfit editor, then it doesn't matter what gear you put in here, you'll always look the way your active outfit looks. So if I click on this, that's how Hayete looks, that's how I'll look. It makes no difference what I put into these slots, and you'll see that in a second. Okay, so for the purpose of slotting all this in, I'm actually going to leave all of this in my inventory. Let's go ahead and open this up. So what I'm doing here is something I forgot to do on the first one. I mentioned it, but I forgot to do it. And basically what this is opening up these slots, and you can do it with credits, and this amount goes up and up and up as you go through it, or you can do it with cartel coins. If you do it with cartel coins, you can do it per character or per account. If you're gonna do it with cartel coins, I would highly suggest just go with per account. That way any character you ever make will have that on there. Okay, so let me go ahead and finish opening this stuff up. Alright, so this last inventory slot, I'm going to save it, and I'll explain why in just a moment. Okay, so for gear, basically what you're looking at is how much of each you're going to have to buy. So for the headpiece, which will go right here, that's going to require you to have an armoring, a mod, and an enhancement. Everything that you see here will require 3 pieces, except for your belt, which is here, and your bracers, which is here, and the rest of the stuff on the left side that we don't have. But basically your weapons and everything up this right side, minus your belt, requires an armoring, an enhancement, and a mod. So what we want to do is we want to buy that amount. So we're going to
take a look.
Go back into this vendor and buy that stuff. So for DPS, gearing in this game is really, really simple. Everything versatile. That's what you want for your armoring, for your weapon. For us, it's a hilt. If you're a class that shoots guns or blasters, more specifically, then you're going to get barrels. But everything's versatile. So what we're going to do is I'm going to buy up 1 for everything that I have here. So that's going to be both of my weapons. Let's see, that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I need 8 of these. Or I guess technically I need 6 because I'm going to put hilts in my weapons, not armorings. Okay, so that's all the armorings and hilts I need. Now I need mods. So for mods, everything you have is going to take a mod, minus that stuff on the left side that I told you about. So you're basically going to buy mods for every piece of gear you have. The only time you won't buy an item for a piece of gear is if it's an enhancement. And again, your belt and your bracers exclude enhancements, so those are not available to be slotted in. For mods, it's pretty much the exact same. What we're looking for is lethal mods. You'll have one choice and that's it for a DPS. You'll know if you're choosing the wrong one because when you go down to the only other available mod, you see there that it has defense on it. Defense is purely for tanks. That's not something you're going to use as a DPS, so you don't want that. So basically what we're going to be using is lethal mod. So going back, your armorings and your hilts or barrels, versatile. Your mods, lethal. That's it. That's the only option you have. That's the only thing you'll use. So we're going to go ahead and buy up some of these. Now you see here you've got what's called lettered mods. You see there's an A and a B behind the number. Generally speaking, when you get to higher level stuff, you might see a guide or you might read a guide that says don't use lettered mods. When they say lettered mods, that's what they're talking about. During the leveling process, doesn't really matter. To be honest, this gear is not going to impact your gameplay as much as you think it is, because you're going to be over leveled for a lot of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go with that same convention. No lettered mods. I'm going to go ahead and just choose the lethal mod 9 and press on from there. Okay, so now we're done with mods. Enhancements. You're going to see for enhancements you have a variety of options. You're going to have things that give you crit. You're going to have things that give you alacrity. Alacrity speeds up everything you do. You're going to see stuff for accuracy. Make sure attacks connect and have a less chance of missing. Things like that. During the leveling process, my advice to you guys is don't worry about it. None of it's going to matter for you because you'll never reach any kind of optimal gearing stat that's going to make or break your gameplay. More or less what you're taking all of this gear for is your endurance. You want your health to be high enough, and you want your weapons to be capable of doing damage on par with your level. That way you can kill things and not die so quickly. So that's really what it is. Your tertiary stats, as I call it, crit, alacrity, things like that, don't worry about it. It's more or less not a consideration you need to worry yourself about while you're leveling. So what I tell people to do is just to go straight power for their mods. And I usually go with crit. So a lot of these have power on them, so you're going to be good there. Crit, like I said, you have accuracy, crit, and alacrity. I go crit because you're just upping your chance of doing more damage, which compared to the other two while you're leveling is more lucrative in my opinion. So that's what we're going to go with here.
Come back anytime.
Okay, so now we've got all that stuff. So now we go through the long process of slotting all this in. So you'll see here what I did was I clicked on that saber and opened this up, right? And you can see where I can slot these things in. By default, the way to do that is hold Control and right-click on that set item. If that item has available modifications, i.e. it's moddable, it will open up into this menu. If it's not, it won't happen. So if you're ever confused about if something's moddable or not, that's a good check. So we're going to go ahead and just slot this stuff in. So you can see lightsabers here. They're going to use the hilt, so I'm going to be putting that in, not in armoring. And yes, I want to put that in. Put a mod. And an enhancement. Click apply, and now we're good to go on that. It's been slotted in, and everything there is active. Now the other thing we can do is you don't have to necessarily have it in your inventory. You can do the exact same thing straight out of your, I guess your character menu, things that are already equipped. Now this message here asking if basically you're okay with this permanently binding to you, what that means is once you do this and you hit yes, you can't trade it, you can't send it to another character. Right now it's not bound. I can basically do whatever I want with it. I can put it on the G10 and sell it if I wanted to because it's bind on equip. So once a character equips it, then then it's bound. Basically what I'm doing right now, I'm equipping it. So another strategy you can employ here is if you have a character that has a lot of those crystals and you're on a new character that has nothing, you can get on that character, buy all that stuff, either put it in a legacy bank or email it to that character, and then that character can pull them all out and slot them in, and you basically got it for free for that character. You didn't have to wait until they had the commendations to use it. Alright, so I'm going to go off mic here for just a moment. I'm going to put all this stuff in, and then we'll move on. Okay, so while I'm at it, you can see here that I'm left over with 1 enhancement. If I hover over this enhancement at the very bottom, you'll see there's a timer on it. This item is refundable for just under 2 hours. What that allows me to do is, hey, I bought too many, I don't need that one. I can literally sell it back and get all my money. Well, in this case, it's not money, it's comms, but if it was money, same rule applies.
You see anything you like? Just let me know.
Alright, so there's that. Go ahead and sell off this stuff here. We don't need.
Come back
And I
anytime.
equipped all this item, I guess this gear. Alright, so other than a headpiece, I have everything I need.
Take a look.
So what I'm going to do
Everything you see
is
is for sale.
I'm going to sell all this stuff off that I don't need anymore. And I'm going to find me a
Come back
headpiece in my
anytime.
collections. Alright, so there's a headpiece.
See anything you
Now I'm going
like?
to go through the same
Just let me
process and
know.
buy all that stuff back. Alright, so we're capped there. We cannot buy, I guess, any more because we don't have the comms for it. So what I'm going to do in the interest of saving time is, what I would normally do is swap over to a character. I'd buy the other stuff and then I would mill them off or put them in my legacy bank, swap back and do that whole thing and get them. But it's not going to make or break us either way here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and slot this into the headpiece, put the headpiece on, and then just run with that, and I'll get the other pieces later on. But I'm going to get the enhancement so I get some crit out of it.
Come back anytime.
Okay, and again, as you guys can see, here's my look here, here's my look on Hayete, and nothing's different. I don't look like my character menu, so. Alright, I need to handle the name of this stream, so give me 30 seconds, guys, to change this. Alright, here we go. Okay, so now what I need to do is go back to Coruscant. So if you guys were watching the part 1, I guess, of this heroic level, basically what I did was I bought a transport item out of my legacy that would take me to the capital city, which for the Republic side is Coruscant. That's right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use that and go right back to Coruscant. Okay, let's mount up and press on. And I'm going the wrong way. Let me see if I can find a bank real quick. Not a bank, a mailbox. So there was an item, forgive me, I can't remember what it was. I don't know if it was an event or if it was like for buying an expansion, I don't remember. But somewhere in here, there's going to be an item that basically gives us a free unlock in the bag or whatever. So I'm going to try and find that real quick. here we go. Okay, so preferred friend bundle. Alright. You guys can pause that if you want to read it. I guess that's what it was for. Okay, so if I open this thing, and what it's going to do is it's going to give me a couple of things. And you'll see this thing right here that's highlighted, that's usable. That's what I want. So if I go ahead and apply that, it's going to unlock this last spot. And there it is. Alright, so the other stuff, we don't need that. That's more or less for people who are free to play or preferred, and they don't have access to things like, you know, making all of your gear look the same color or whatever that a subscriber would. So that's what that other stuff is, and that's why it wasn't active for me. I couldn't use it, but the bank slot I could use. And just to reiterate, like I said on part 1 of this, was you want to use that preferably for your last one because it's the most expensive. So if you use it on that one, you'll be in a good spot to save some credits.
Vehicle pads are currently open for business.
And while we're flying, I'm going to move all this stuff. So a tidy inventory is a happy inventory. At least for me. Alright, so we're going to try and run through this stuff as quickly as possible. For the heroic tier, it ends at level 25. So when we get to 25, I'm going to go ahead and take a brief intermission. I'll go ahead and stop the stream for purposes of recording and uploading, and I'll start up on the next tier challenge, which will be from 25 up. So it's more or less our plan of attack here. Guess I was supposed to speak to Kira at some point, but I'll go do this first. The thing about Coruscant is it's a lot of running around. Let's see if I can work this, if I can still do it. Yeah, I guess not. Where are you guys at on that one? Hayete, you're going the wrong way. Let's see what our sabers look like. There we go. So, I actually need to swap. Actually, no, it's good. So one of the things, I don't really roleplay much in this game, but one of the few things that I do roleplay is Hayate's look, and sabers are definitely one of those. So what I tried to do with the sabers is more or less do it in league with what the color crystals are supposed to mean for the Jedi Order. So green being like the Guardian, defense and whatnot. So more or less like blocking with your left lightsaber. Because Hayate's right-handed, because I'm right-handed, and the blue being the Jedi Knight. So the idea there is the Jedi Knight is like the soldier, the foot trooper that you know, does go into combat and does that type of stuff, and that's their proficiency. So attacking with the right hand being the blue lightsaber. So. Rocket boots. Definitely buy these rocket boots, guys. If you have the money or the cartel coins and you can do it, huge time saver. Yeah, I might have just stole that from that guy. Alright, talk. Have some money, kids, and go about your way. Alright. I guess we're fighting out of here. How many instances there are of Coruscant? 2. Thought there would be more. Not so much, it seems. Alright, let's see here. Let's go back to the plaza and see if I can't go talk to Kira or whatever I need to do. Alright, so it looks like I gotta go back to the hangar area, which, again, I'm going the wrong way, guys. I think one of the things I'm gonna do to help showcase some of the, I guess, other content in the game is I'm gonna queue up for some flashpoints here in a second. I'll go ahead and knock this out just in case it pops. The queue pops. I don't want to be in the middle of trying to complete this. But anyways, flashpoints are a really good way to get some experience, grouping with other people, and you get more experience when you're grouped with other people. So I don't know exactly how much more. I can't imagine it's like a ridiculous amount more, but you do get more. And if you're new to the game, I would highly suggest getting in there. Or new to MMOs, period. I would highly suggest getting in there and kind of experiencing that. The experiences you have in there are not always going to be good, but they're not always going to be bad either, and it'll kind of give you a feel for what it could potentially be like when you get to max level and you're trying to do some of the harder content in the game. Alright, let's beat this guy's face.
Isn't you wait? No, is that? You have 1 minute. Think what? You let me.
Okay, so it looks like we're going back. So let's teleport out. Okay, so let's go over, I guess, the menu for doing flashpoints and group content. So if you click on this icon here, there's like 3 little people. It'll open this menu here, and what you'll be presented with is basically selecting your role. As a sentinel, I only have 1 role, I can only do damage. But other classes, you can do heals and damage, tank and damage, whatever. And then this one here will tell you what you can do. So right now we can do tactical flashpoints, which tactical flashpoints don't require you to have a traditional group. A traditional group is generally 4 people, and it consists of 2 DPS, a tank, and a healer. So tactical flashpoints basically allow you to go in there with any composition, and they scale depending on what kind of composition you have. And then all of the names here just represent different flashpoints, and each one of these has like a story with it. You can experience that story as you level. There will be like mission givers or quest givers for these specific flashpoints, or you can go to your fleet, and there will be a place there on fleet that you can go to initiate these immediately. But regardless, this is where you're going to find whichever ones you do. Or whichever ones you're able to do. If you go into filter, it'll give you the ability to check marks the ones you don't like or the ones that you want to see, and you know, whatever. So you've got control and free reign to do all that kind of stuff. Alright, so pretty fast queue there, eh? Alright, let's see what happens here. So by the looks of it, we have all DPS. That's not necessarily to say that all we have is DPS, because sometimes people queue as multiple roles just to kind of help their odds of getting, you know, an active queue. So there may be somebody here able to do something else. Well, we'll see what happens. Okay, so this is one of the CZ flashpoints, and this came out around level 50 if I remember correctly. Maybe 55, I don't really remember. But it's a later in the game flashpoint, so you'll see here our first objective is to complete it, or deactivate information terminal. So let's run around and I guess deactivate those terminals. So when I do flashpoints like this, I pretty much just charge at stuff. I don't generally wait around. I've got defensives, and hopefully everybody else is doing their jobs, and we're capable of killing stuff before it kills me. He's gonna get that before I do. There we go. Alright, so let's see, I think I'm gonna take out some of the smaller guys first. Hopefully somebody else pulls their attention, because I have nothing. Force sweep to stun. If you guys were watching my last stream when I was talking about using some of your abilities to help you not die, being able to stun opponents is a good thing. Alright, let's try and regen some life here. The dude kind of jumped in there real quick. Alright, going for the big guy. Pop rebuke here, that'll help mitigate 20% damage. So anytime that is up and you guys are taking consistent damage, you want to pop that. I'm going to heal up and let him take that. Alright, so we're going behind us. Alright, and here we go. So blue circle, this means I move until it drops, and then I get out of it. Some of the mechanics in the game can be slightly tricky. Let's see what this debuff is. Accuracy reduced. Nope, I don't have any accuracy right now because I'm leveling, so who cares? Again, popping rebuke there for some damage mitigation. So believe me, these things go a lot faster, guys, if you have a healer with you. But we don't have that, so we're not going to worry about it. Alright, let's stun this guy so he stops hitting me. I'm gonna heal up. Yep, there we go. Figured as much. That's fine though, he can have it. So, important thing to note, if you're in a circle, do not stand in it. There are a couple of things you want to stand in, but by and large the rule is don't stand in circles. So, no matter what you're doing, I popped Blade Dance there, which right now is my hardest hitting ability. And I had to stop it because I was standing in a red circle. And that is not what we want. Alright, time to Sentinel tank. Pull this guy back here. Good, he did that. Awesome. So what we're doing there was we exploded one of those, I guess, flower pods or whatever on him to basically apply a debuff to him so he takes more damage. And what I'm going to be looking for is this health pot right here. And I can't hit it because he's on top of it. There we go. He got it. So those little health pots, guys, what that does is basically gives heals over time to everybody in your group, not just the person that clicks it. So very, very useful, especially when you have all DPS and you have no healer. Let's go back and force sleep, get some focus there. That guy's about to die. I'm hoping I can... There we go, he's moving. I'm gonna go ahead and hit this pot for him. Yeah, we might have just done that all at the same time. Alright, come follow me to this thingy guy. There we go. Let's CC break there. And hopefully this other guy just blows it up on him. No, I'll do it. Or not. Alright, so I'm getting pretty low here. I'll go ahead and pop a defensive Saber Ward. And that'll help mitigate some damage there. Knocked back. So the smart thing to do here would have been to stand up against a wall. So he can't just knock me all over the place. But in this situation, I want him to knock me into that flower so we can blow it up on him. Alright. And we're stuck in the air there. Alright, so I'm running out of life here. Let's go ahead and try and move to this thing. Alright, he got it. Right now I'm just playing tank. Just getting knocked everywhere. And hopefully this dude comes over here. Hit that pot for him. Believe me guys, these go a lot faster when you're higher level and you have more abilities. This is rather painful, actually. Alright, so... God, man, I wish you could click stuff like that. And... looks like we're probably gonna fail this, but... I don't know. Pop a defensive and try and get over there. I'm dead. Well, we're close. No, I hope this guy just finishes it out. Heal up. And it looks like he's just gonna stand there. And probably talk in chat or something, I don't know. Nope, he just gave up. Weak. Never give up, guys. And now we get to run all the way back. So what I'll do is I'll give this maybe another attempt. You can see from the experience bar down there, I got a good amount of experience doing this, so would like to complete it because bosses in here give you a good amount, but I also don't want to sit here for the entire block that I am streaming doing a flashpoint. So we'll give it another go, and if it's not happening, then we'll jump out. All right. Let's get this guy to drag him over. And that would be a good time to use that. Yep, I might have used that too early, but it'll be alright. Doesn't like this is gonna happen. Alright, oh well. So it definitely helps when you have let's quit that. When you have people that are ranged and capable of using those heal things. You don't set the boss on top of the heal nodes. And you keep that debuff, the flower we were exploding, you keep that on the boss. And then people do as much damage as possible. But, oh well. Let's keep pressing through here. I think I'm going the wrong way. Imagine that, Hayete's going the wrong way. We'll get a few more levels and we'll try that again. Now the flashpoints, guys, to be honest, are really, really a good way to level, because whereas here you may be doing a lot of running around and trying to find certain items and talk to different people just to run somewhere else, you in a flashpoint you really just go and kill stuff non-stop, so you really gain experience at a good rate.
I'm here to help.
Alright. Talk to this other guy and I'll queue up for something else and see what happens.
Dr. Tarnas is the...
What is
They...
we
And I...
will cure?
We shall scorch. If there's a special code...
This
I don't hear it.
Alright, so the reason why that's locked out is because I left. When you go into a flashpoint, you have to basically be in there for a certain amount of time. I think it's 5 minutes or something. I may be wrong, but you have to be in there for a set duration before you leave. And if you leave, then you just basically get locked out until that duration is met. But no big deal. We have other stuff we can do. Like run towards our next objective for the next 2 seconds. Alright, let's filter out some of that stuff. Let's try that. Yeah, Smoke. They, I don't know if it was a bad group, it just might have been inexperienced, but standing places we shouldn't stand and letting debuffs fall off and stuff like that, so.
Vehicle paths are currently open for business.
Alright, looks like we got quite a way to run. Alright, nice. Okay, cool. I'm the lowest level person in here. So, that should go pretty well. What I need to do when I get in here is see if I got any new abilities. So every time you level up, guys, definitely check and see if you have new abilities that you can train up. Especially if you have a convenient thing like I do, where you can just do it wherever you're at. Yes, we finally got our interrupt, guys. That is a hugely important ability. Alright. And this is actually the first... I guess I can't say first. Essalus was the first, but this is like the first flashpoint after Essalus that you encounter. If you were to, level the traditional way or whatever. And these guys are not gonna wait. Which is bad because I pull aggro like crazy. I might have to scale it back here. So I'm not constantly pulling and getting shot at.
Intruders detected. Hammer station security online. Lockdown in progress.
Alright, looks like we're skipping that set. And I would imagine they're going to CC one of these guys. Yep, they CC'd the one with the cog over his head. So when you guys see somebody mark something like that and you see it CC'd, so if you look at that thing, it, you know, it's stunned, it's not doing anything. Definitely something you want to not hit. A lot of times people don't pay attention to that and they hit that stuff, and that can really kill your group. What I'm going to do is try and get this thing to look at me so it's not hitting that other guy. Sometimes it's about balance, who has the attention of what enemy is getting shot in the face. So, being a good teammate there, recognizing that Yamin up there at the top of the raid frame was getting his face beat in, so trying to pull that thing off of him. So one of the things you guys might see right above my mini-map, dead center of my screen at the bottom, you'll probably see from time to time a channel happening there. Now what that is it's an enemy doing a channel. Generally speaking, you're interrupt, so for the Jedi Sentinel Force Kick, but every class has an interrupt. Those are things that you'll want to look to interrupt, and most things you can interrupt, some things you can't. But most things you can, and if you can interrupt something, you should absolutely do it. Through experience and time playing the game, you'll learn to recognize what is more beneficial to interrupt and what doesn't really need to be interrupted. But when you're in a group, if you're fighting an enemy, something's hitting you really hard and it's channeling like that, definitely interrupt it. And this may be a little rough because of that debuff right there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to position myself so I can get to one of these med stations really quick because I'm going to need it.
Targeting systems locked.
And what I did there is try and use it for the duration of that. Let's use another one. So what he's doing, if you look, there's a debuff stacking right above my health bar right now. And what that does is it does more damage. The higher that stack count gets, the more damage it does, and it's brutal. So, yeah, just trying to not get killed from that. Generally, if you're doing this with a traditional group, you would have a healer cleanse that off of you. You know, once it got up so many stacks, they would cleanse you and you would be good to go. It would restart it at a lower stack, so you would take less damage. But we don't have a healer, so can't do that. So using those health pots there and just hitting them once you get a good amount of stacks is the smart thing to do. So we're gonna skip this stuff here. Hopefully everybody saw him do that because I almost missed it. Believe me guys, a level 21 should not be pulling off of a level 55 or 65 or whatever this guy is. 65. He has all of his abilities, he should be ashamed. I'm gonna hit this guy on the right. I'm really surprised they did not CC that. Let's hit that. this is gonna be a tough one, guys. Did not do that the smartest. Again, I'm gonna see if I can't pull this off of this guy and that thing stop hitting him. That's a first. I was the only one not to take damage. That's great. Okay, so these guys leap to you, so I'm going to hit this guy right here in the front. And let's go with some Cyclone Slash. Or not, because they killed that really fast. Run out of my range there. Yep, right there. I'm assuming these guys are going to want to skip that. Yep, and probably this one. Yep. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to start out on Torchy. That was really not smart. Pulled that thing with that guy. I guess I could use a health pot, so whatever. Let's swap to the other one. So for those who follow the Sentinel guide that I have out, you can kind of see here I'm not really able to do a full rotation, but what I'm doing is I'm using abilities basically as they come. So from what hits the hardest to what hits the weakest, etc. As once we get precision, that's going to change. But right now I don't have precision, so it's basically just hitting the abilities that do the most damage and spamming a lot of slashes. So one of the unique things here, you'll see here on the left side, these represent the alignment choice, so light side, dark side. And if whoever rolls the highest, you'll see there were numbers there beside people's names or pictures. Whoever rolls the highest, that's what happens physically in the flashpoint. But for instance, if they were to choose dark side points and I chose light side, I still maintain those light side points. I don't get their dark side choices. Let's see. Oh, I am so screwed. I have no life. That's where we want med packs, and I don't have any. So I'll wait for these guys to get done, and hopefully one of them will pick me up. The idea there that the guy kind of messed up for me, where I was going to go around the corner, and when you, what's called line of sight somebody, or when you line of sight an enemy, they generally follow you because they can't hit you. So they try and come around the corner, so to speak, and get within range of you. So by doing that, you can stack them up, and what I was going to do was stack those guys up on that explosive barrel and blow them up and do some good damage to them, and then use the time that they were stunned to try and get some hits off on them and kill them. But somebody blew up the barrel before I could get them around the corner, and that didn't bode well for me. I died, so... It is what it is, though. No big deal. And that's not good. That guy shoved that dude off the edge, and you see his red dot there on the mini-map. He's not dead, so... see? Get out of red. Anytime you see red. Out of red. Every time. I'm gonna go ahead and line of sight this, let somebody else hit it. Because I was taking so much damage there. And somebody keeps waking that thing up. You see we've CC'd that other turret several times now. Somebody keeps hitting it. Which is bad. They're not being a team player. It's horrible. And it gets people killed. Which it may do here. That Yemen guy's pretty low. And we can't heal up because that other guy down there. That's not good. Because we're not probably going to survive this right here. Oh, we came out of combat and somebody pulled it. Oh, okay. Man, I need that health back. Yay, we gained a level. We're almost there, guys. 3 more levels for this first tier. And then we get a reward. It'd be kind of interesting to see what these packs look like. I've tried very, very hard not to look at anything on other videos, the internet, anything. I kind of wanted to be surprised opening that just to kind of see what it was, but it's probably going to be lackluster, but it's okay. We'll find out together. You guys probably already know, but alright, so I have some ads spawning in behind me. Give them some cyclone slashes. And I'm dead because I'm dumb. So the guy does a knockback. So the smart thing to do is not stand where he can knock you over the edge. Which is why I originally was standing up on the computer terminal. And I was being dumb, and I died because I was being dumb. No, how am I going to get past this? I'm so screwed. Oh man. Alright guys, I am going to solo this guy. Let's see what happens. Interrupt. They killed that dude without me. Stop standing in red. Defensive. Mini slashes. And dead. There we go. They did all the work for me. Alright, well. Let's go pick up the loot, I suppose, and get out of here. Alright, so that's Flashpoint, guys. For those who haven't experienced one or were curious, that's a Flashpoint. So basically it's a bunch of ads, boss, and it just kind of rotates like that. Generally you have 3, sometimes 4 bosses, but it's generally that. You don't usually have much more. And with a good group they go fairly quickly, so let's see if we got any new abilities here. Oh, thank the Lord. Transcendence, man. Even though I can't use it in the way I want to use it. But we have it nonetheless. I'm gonna stick that over there. That ability, guys, I would generally say don't even worry about it until you're able to get right here to this skill point in the Masterful tier. What that does is it makes it so that you don't need centering, or sorry, a 30 stack of centering to use it. Which you don't want to do. If you have Zen available, you want to use it for DPS. You don't want to use it for other things. So really, Transcendence is best used with that utility. All right, let's see. I'm gonna try and get through this story stuff pretty quick, and the flashpoints definitely helped. That helped catch up a few levels there. Oh, let's pull our companion out. It's always nice to have heals.
Corporal.
No need to panic.
Well, we've been fighting. Look at.
If you surrender, this
You don't get one.
Okay, so we need to disable some terminals and search for Ugnots, aka bacon people. Pig people. That was my lame attempt at a joke. That was not funny at all, but they snort like pigs, man, so what can I say? Yeah, I think I'm probably going to queue up for a flashpoint here. As you guys can see, you know, we're just running around and, you know, hitting terminals and whatnot. Gaining absolutely no experience for doing this, so at some point you have to kind of decide what's the best way to utilize your time. And running around gaining nothing, in my opinion, is not the best way to maximize that effort. So, I'm going to hit this last panel and queue us up. Oh, we got a tank. Look at that. And drop that down until everybody accepts it. No reason to have it in my face. That looks like a safe spot. I believe this is going to be KDY based off the loading screen. May be wrong though. I was absolutely wrong. Oh, this is some history here, guys. I have not been in this one in years, I think. It's definitely been some time.
Got you as close as I could. AA is all over us. Scanners show heavy security at the facility entrance. Take down the targeting sensors and our fighters will clear the way for you.
So these green check marks above our heads, guys, that means that everybody in the group has to click this specific panel. If they don't do that, we can't proceed. So like these guys who are taking a while to come over here and do that, it can kind of draw these things out. So if you see somebody doing that, just kindly tell them, hey, come over here and click. You know, it might be their first time or something like that. You don't want to be a douchebag, but which a lot of people do. You know, just let them know, and then hopefully they'll expedite and get over there so that you can move forward and finish it. I'm sure these guys are going to want to skip some of this stuff, so I'm going to let them take the lead. I haven't been in here in forever, so... Oh, that guy hurts.
The fuel monitoring tower nearby should be tall enough to span the gap, if you can knock it over.
So like that thing right there, you'll see he was channeling something under his picture. That's it's definitely something you want to interrupt. Things like that when you're fighting a boss, just experiment with it. Interrupt it, see if it works, and if it doesn't, then you know for next time. But most things are interruptible. So one of the things with leveling this way, guys, is outside of the flashpoint content, you're going to enter into a point where you're going to be so over leveled for where you were at. Like if I just keep smashing these flashpoints out, I'm going to quickly gain levels higher than the gear that I have, but I haven't gained enough commendations to really go back and, you know, fully gear out again. If you get ahead like that, there's two things you can do. You can either send another character that you have that has a lot of comms over and buy your gear, and then go back to leveling through, you know, doing quests and things like that. Or what you can do is just buy stuff off the market. And if you decide to go that way, you know, you'll obviously need the credits to do it, but that'll help you stay on level. So if you get tired of doing flashpoints, you can go out and you know, still do appropriate stuff and not die in 2 seconds because you have no life. So what I'll probably do is just not worry about it. I feel confident I can hold out until level 25. And then I'll get all that stuff later on, probably off camera. But just so you guys know about it.
Our home remains as it has always been. A bastion of freedom against the savage lashings of organics.
Okay. I don't know if they're going to CC this thing or not. Nope. I'm not going to mess with the gold guy. I'll take care of this one first.
Perform your tasks content in the knowledge that our true liberation approaches precisely.
And Hayete fails at platforming, guys. I'm gonna hit this guy right in front of me. So I don't think I mentioned it. Flashpoints have a bolster. So there's an icon right here. And if you look down at the bottom right, you'll see what it says. Basically what that does is, for the most part, not completely, but for the most part, it makes your gear null and void. You came in here with no gear on, it would get you up to a level capable of doing this content. Albeit, a very, very low minimum level of doing it. So unless you're really experienced, it would probably give you quite a difficult time to complete it. But
You still haven't explained why. I take it you're...
so 3 droids, if I remember correctly, which I may be wrong.
No race in history.
It's like a trend here lately. These guys shield, so we're gonna have to attack the one that doesn't shield. Again, it's been like years since I've done this, so we'll find out, but I think that's what it was.
Every droid here, other than you, is part of the leader?
Yes, all but a few were happy to trade away their new individuality.
You should never have come here.
Alright, I'm going for the guy in the middle.
Lower your weapons. They only delay the inevitable.
Alright, he's immune. Well, let's go attack the one everybody else is attacking. And so the way that I saw that, guys, that he was immune, was I was hitting him, and it started saying basically he was immune, so. Plus he has a debuff up on him. I'll see if I can't hover over it here in a second to show you guys. Alright, so while they're doing that, is this debuff right here. Damage taken reduced.
Your death is inevitable. You haven't won.
Alright. Waiting on one player. And he
So
quit
that
the
was
group.
leader of direct... My ally is the Force.
I ask you.
Wonder why he quit the group. I didn't feel like we were doing too terribly bad.
If mentors...
Is it well?
Alright, who's the leader? I'm the leader. Let's requeue. And we have no new abilities. Alright, we're pressing on. Wanna buy a healer? Yay, he pulled his healer out. He's a higher level, so that makes sense. Oh, am I getting destroyed? That's funny. They
Don't
put
come any
a,
closer, or I will defend myself.
oh, I guess we just gained somebody, that's why. I was gonna say, it's kinda odd they put that over there.
I've known Sith who wouldn't commit act.
Yep.
Where is this guy's healing dude? He is not on my side right now. Oh, because we have a fourth. Duh. Alright, well, fair enough.
Dear friends, our revolution continues to approach just as we've all hoped and planned.
So many ads.
Directive 7 was founded to let our fellow droids embrace free will.
See that guy, whoever knocked those into here, that was really smart. You'll see he came over and he force waved the ones on the left over onto the ones on the right. Really smart thing to do. Basically doing that, you're grouping everything up so people can hit it. Yes, we have an interrupt, guys. Another one, kinda, sorta.
As time went on, Mentor focused more and more
So
on
we just got force stasis, and what that does is
blind.
basically allows me to lift anything that's not got like a control immunity or whatever. So basically it's 4 seconds of you not getting hit by whatever's hitting you in the face, which is really nice.
Now we will only be remembered for
And something that I pretty much consider a pseudo-defensive, so because like I say in my guide, if they can't hit you and they can't do damage, it's basically a defensive, because that's the whole point of a defensive, is to help stop damage from hurting you. So
Our geothermal power cores have reached 90% of the charge we require. Statistically, our victory
can we
is
skip
beyond
this? Indeed we can. Very, very smart shadow there.
Please note that one or more organics may have found their way into the facility. Ignore them. Security teams will eliminate the problem shortly.
All right. So if I remember correctly for this guy, we fight the big guy there, the interrogator, and there's 2 chambers to his left and his right. And he'll basically spawn pseudo copies of us, like our classes, and we just have to kill those and then kill him. And it's kind of like this back and forth like struggle pretty much. But it's a gamble, guys. We'll see if I'm wrong. Alright, here comes the first one. Interrupt that telekinetic throw. And he has boss immunity. I should have looked at that before I force stasis it. Alright, Jedi Consular. He's gonna do a knockback, I'm guessing. Yep. Too bad I paid attention to the first one and put my back to the wall. Slines, that's funny, man. Not salty at all, bro. This will be my 5th Sentinel. So I've got enough Sentinels. Oh, here's a good use of Force Stasis, and there it is. You guys see it on the left.
Beloved comrades, I must regrettably confirm that a general security alert is now in effect. Advanced defensive protocols have been enacted to bring a rapid resolution.
Can we sneak past this? Let's find out.
The offending organics will soon pose no danger to our plans. The revolution will proceed.
Ah, we're almost there, guys. Half a level. And we'll be done with the heroic tier. We can try the next one. Which doubtedly is going to be a lot more work. I do think it's retroactive, though. I think we get credit for the things that we've already done. So like, we've done a couple of the flashpoints. One of the, I forget what tier it is, one of them you have to do all of the flashpoints. And I think we get credit for that, for the ones we've already done, so some of that stuff should save us some time. Alright, so I interrupted that Bulwark Blast that the boss was channeling. If you look under the target frame, basically to the right of my character, slightly down from my character on the right, you'll see him channeling something under his health bar, and that's what I interrupted. So see it right there. I'm going to interrupt it again. And those are the kind of things you guys want to be looking out for. Anytime you see something like that that's interruptible, try and interrupt it, especially if it's doing a lot of damage to you or somebody else. So these repair droids, we need to kill them. And so for this boss, you'll see on the left and the right, you'll see 2 panels, one on fire, one arcing, or sparking, I guess I should say, rather. And basically what that is if those things get repaired by those droids, then basically it's shielded, if I remember correctly. He may get buffed. If something happens, it's negative. We don't want it, so kill the droids and make sure that they don't do that again, or they don't repair him so that he does whatever he was doing again. Seems I am the only one interrupting anything. And our experience boost is about to run out. What I'm going to do is go ahead, if I can, I don't even remember. Alright, cool. Just in case we take longer than the 40 seconds I had left. I would very much like to get extra XP off of killing this guy. So Slans, 2 birds with 1 stone, man. To help for the achievement later, right? And you gain more experience with other players, so. Granted, if I did it solo, I could probably get them done faster, so that probably would make up for the difference, but I don't know. Maybe we'll do it on the next tier.
We're getting very close now. Mentor will turn everything he has against you. Be ready.
Lifted. Alright, somebody interrupted his missile barrage. That saved me a whole lot of damage. Alright guys, there it is. The story begins. So let's finish this thing out. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a quick intermission. I'll go ahead and set everything up for the next tier. And then, actually, you know what? I might not do that. Because we got about 25 minutes left here. So what I might do is call it slightly early and then just pick up the next tier on Friday.
Deep beneath this moon's surface.
We'll see. We'll see how long this takes to finish this up.
Engage all internal security measures. Defend the core at all costs.
Who pulled that? I don't know.
Without Mentor to manage their energy fluctuations, irreparable damage to the moon's
Oh, this poor droid, he doesn't even know what's coming, man.
Be prepared to make a quick evacuation when the time comes.
So this fight here, guys, if anybody watching has played DC Universe online, this guy reminds me of Brother Eye. I don't know why, it just does. It's not necessarily the same fight or anything, but I don't know. It just reminds me of that guy. Or that boss fight, I guess I should say. Alright, so for this one, basically you see the cores around here. There are going to be some turrets up, we'll damage those. We'll be damaging some, there'll be a droid that comes down once we get this done, and we break these different cores that are around. And basically you're just going to rinse and repeat through those mechanics. Somebody will get that, that claw up on them, and that'll force that person to basically kite that thing around. That doesn't mean you don't have to like stop doing your damage. You can still do damage. You just want to try and keep that stuff off of other players and not stand in it. Alright, so let's hit this dude. Oh, he's got that core over there. So what he's going to do is he's going to break that core over there. Or he should break it. Hopefully he breaks it. And he didn't break it. That sucks. I trusted him to break that, and he let me down there. So now we get to deal with all these stupid circles. Yep, it's back up. Alright, perfect. He got it. Alright, more turrets. That guy hopefully is hitting that panel over there. Let's interrupt that thing. Alright. So as you can see, not a whole lot with this flashpoint, just a lot of back and forth. Alright, on the big guy again. Hopefully he gets that one. I'll hit this big guy. Interrupt full auto. I always found it quite odd that they spread the healing nodes out as far as they did. I don't know, maybe they were putting them near the where the turrets come up, but I guess you got 3 right here. It's close enough to this guy. I will give somebody Transcendence on my next one. I promise. Oh no! It's on me! Now we're on the big guy, I think. Alright, Jeff, here you go, man. Transcendence. It's like the stupidest use of that. There's no point to Transcendence there, guys. Do not copy that. Do not try that at home. Alright, and we got a level off of it, so we're on our way to the next tier already.
Done it! You've really done it! As I feared, the geothermal
Alright, so let's go ahead and jump out of here.
The facility will be incinerated in a matter of minutes. The entire moon is going to be torn apart. I've secured an escape shuttle. Forwarding coordinates now. Hurry!
Okay, so, let's see. What am I gonna do? Ooh, Pacify. There we go. That's a good one. So, Pacify is another one of those, like, pseudo-defensives, guys. Really, really comes in handy. Alright, so utility points. Interesting options here. So what I suggest for people, and you can check it out on my guide, either Trailblazer here for Cyclone Slash or Adamant. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go with Adamant. Reason being is because I don't generate enough focus. There we go. I don't generate enough focus to necessarily make Cyclone Slash something that I can just spam like I would at max level. So taking Adamant, you know, you get CC'd, you get stunned, you get knocked around, you get that stuff while you're leveling. Happens all the time. So every time that happens, I'm going to get focus for it. So I find it more lucrative to take that one first, but I think it's just more personal preference than like optimization. So it's completely up to you guys. That's just my suggestion for that specific reason.
This is
You won't get away. This is Sergeant Nidaljo. He's here to arrest you.
It's always funny when you spacebar through these things, how the animations happen, when the way they're not supposed to happen. Oh, and we got Blade Rush, thank God. So I didn't even notice that, guys. You'll see here our slash, what used to be here in this spot, got changed into Blade Rush. Huge part of combat spec, and the nice thing is you don't have to do anything extra. It's still your spam ability, still what you're going to use when everything else is on cooldown. Except the benefit here now is that it gives us a buff, which is going to help increase our damage output. So all around a really good ability, and it's going to help us out a lot. So. Alright, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to talk to this guy, and then I'm going to leave it there. This should take me back to the Senate Tower, or take me to where I have to mess with the Ugnaughts or whatever, so I'm going to go ahead and leave it here. And what we'll do on Friday is I'll pick up from here for the next tier, and go through that, and try and give you guys some more tips and advice, all that kind of stuff along the way. What I think I'm going to do is change gears a little bit and do a little bit more on the, I guess, flashpoint side of it. So we'll go in there, get some levels, and then I'll finish off the last few levels doing the story, because at some point we're going to have to complete up to level 50, I believe. I might be wrong. I don't think we have to complete the story, actually. I think Eric said we didn't have to do that, so I'll look that up. And if we don't have to complete the story, we'll probably just go through flashpoints and pump that stuff out real quick. Otherwise, we'll get around to the story at some point. Granted, I'm spacebarring through all of it, so... But, alright guys, so that's going to be it for tonight. I'm going to call it early. And I'll have this uploaded to YouTube, so if you haven't been to my YouTube channel, check it out. Has a lot of good stuff there, specifically for the SOTOR community. And if you haven't been to my website, hayete.net, check that out. I post all of my stuff there. This content will not be posted there. This is going to be exclusive to YouTube. And if you want, go ahead and follow me on Twitter. That's where I post basically announcements for streams, guides coming out. Basically, that's my shout box. So if I'm doing something or if something's on the way, I let you guys know there early, so you kind of have a head start on stuff like that. So that's it for tonight, though, guys. Thanks for coming out. Thanks for joining. And if you're watching this on YouTube, drop us a like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys on Friday.